Okay. Hey, welcome to the motherfucking Bone Throne, baby. This is death matches and death metal. This is insane. Today we got motherfucking Kareem Peter on here, the owner of Night Shift Merch. I've been saying brought to you by Night Shift Merch because this show only exists because of Night Shift Merch. I only wear Night Shift merch on this show. I didn't even know that Kareem didn't even know about this. So I got to tell him how this shit came to be real quick. And
Hey,
it's yeah, it's crazy, man. Kareem Peter, everybody is fucking here right now. So, yeah, I got to tell you how this shit came to be. Um
yeah, I'm curious. You started telling me right beforehand, so I got to hear the story.
So yeah, I was a streamer. I fucking, wasn't feeling game streaming all the time. I was like, all right, this is cool. I was getting tired and shit. And then one night I was just drunk on the stream. I was playing some game and I fucking was wearing a weeping shirt that I got off a Night Shift. And I fucking like lifted it up and I was like, this stream's brought to you by Night Shift merch and weeping and fucking I posted it as a story and tag you guys in it and you reposted it on your shit. And then Weeping reposted it on theirs. And then you said like I was like, you know what? At the time I was thinking about interviewing wrestlers because I go to underground like death matches and
Yeah,
shit like that. I'm really into that. And I was thinking about doing it. And then I messaged Weeping after they saw that post. And I was like, yo, fucking, you guys want to come on the show and talk some shit and talk about your new project? I like it. And they were like, hell yeah, we'll come on. And I was like, oh shit. And then I sent out like, I think it was to like 4 or 5 more bands like at the same time. I was like, oh shit, if they book, other people might book too. And then hella people were like down. And I did that
oh,
interview with
that's awesome.
Theo. Dude, it went so well. I was like, holy shit, this is what I've been wanting to do my whole fucking life, and I didn't know it. And then it was crazy because you know, I started the shtick. I was like, okay, well, I'm only gonna wear Night Shift merch when I do the fucking show, and I'm gonna plug Night
Yeah, I
Shift
saw you
merch.
kept tagging us in it. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, at the intro, I was like, yo, I even put it on my page at one point. I was like, officially sponsored by Night Shift merch, and then I changed it to brought to you by Night Shift merch because I was like, okay, I don't want to get a season desist or anything. But
Yeah, I'm gonna call a lawyer over it, man. I got to get this dude off YouTube.
yeah, it was just crazy how shit panned out, man. But yeah, I was fucking, I just stuck with it every single week and fucking having you on the show is a total trip because I've met so many people in the scene now. I fucking kind of like I from through Night Shift merch, I discovered Warf Lurch who does Warf Lurch Wednesdays and
Yeah, I saw you had Mike on here.
yeah. I was like, dude, like, there's another guy that opens hella mail, like I like to do. Like, holy shit. Like, that's the pandemic is what got me really obsessed with Night Shift merch. Like, it was,
See, the pandemic, man, has like been kind of crazy because it seems like death metal just blew up like huge during the pandemic, and like we weren't planning on this shit at all. We're just planning on being like a small kind of like merch store that mainly ran Black Dahlia Murder stuff and Napalm Death stuff because we were friends with them. Um, but then during the pandemic, just like there was no local shows going on, so everything on Bandcamp was just everyone's local band, and it just kind of happened to align with what we were into and what we were doing anyway. With just everyone that was into hardcore, everyone that was into every sort of metal, everyone that was into basically everything discovered fucking death metal during the pandemic while it was blowing up on there. So it's been pretty awesome.
yeah, it was a trip, man. Like, I remember like, the first thing I got from you was my girl's, it was right after 2019 when I heard the single from Verminous. I know you had the Defloret long sleeves
Mhm.
and they were like limited edition or some shit. And I told my girl, I was like, I need a Black Dahlia shirt. I need one. Like, I don't have any. Like, why don't I have any? And she surprised me for Christmas with that shirt. And then I got the sticker and I was
Huh.
fucking hooked, man. I was just like, holy shit. Like, it turned
Which color
into
of the long sleeve did you get? You get the
uh,
first color, the second color,
the yellow. It was
the
like
yellow.
yellow and
I can't even
faded.
remember which one. Yeah, I think that was the second one we did.
Can you grab that Defloret shirt out of the closet? I got it like right there. That's
Out of the
like,
closet, out of the yellow background.
yeah. Oh, dude, it's so crazy, man. Like that fucking shirt just started my addiction to buying merch. Like, And then I was buying all the Black Dahlia shit for just the longest time. Like, yeah, this is the one right here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, those ones we put them up and they sold so fast. We did two. We were only planning on doing one, but like that was the first thing we did that just sold insanely fast. That we were just out of them in like a second. We're like, well, all right, I guess we got to do a second of these.
Yeah, dude, they were sick, man. That's like the craziest album cover. It's funny because I know Trevor like talks about that album like not too fondly, and like I mean,
Really?
yeah, yeah, he said something about
Yeah,
as far as concept because I guess Ritual came right after, and Ritual was like
yeah,
their most solid concept album, but yeah, he said like about that album the it was kind of a clusterfuck like the album art. He just gave the direction
well, the
of,
art was definitely yeah. Oh,
but
dude,
I
we were on tour when he got that art, and I remember him showing it to everyone, just as being like, "So there's like something else going on with it, right? This isn't gonna be it." And he's like, "No, this is it." And like Metal Blade hated it. I mean, I think
really.
they ended up did putting a sticker over just the entire cover because I mean, they hated the cover. It's fucking weird. They didn't know if it was like a fat lady with her boobs out, a big fat guy, whatever it was going to be. They didn't know if they were going to get in trouble with it being in like Best Buy. So they just, it's like a big red and white sticker over the whole cover, right?
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
dope, man. Like that was the one of the, I think the first flag I bought from you guys. I was like, fucking
Nice.
that's it. It looks like because he said he wanted to make it a place you don't want to end up. Like oh, just a super fucked up place, crazy shit going on,
Yeah.
like a throwback to the
Yeah. In
old.
hindsight, it's like fucking genius. I mean, it's like one of their best covers in hindsight, but at the time, it was so crazy.
Yeah,
And Trevor was like all in it from the get go. He's just like, nah, this is it. It's like, all right.
yeah,
It's like, if you say so. And then once we saw it on the giant like banner, the stage banner, I was like, okay, it's pretty sick like that. But it was so hard to make merch of that cover, man. When the record was out, I don't think there was a cover shirt. There was like a shirt during the pre-order, but I can't remember what we did with the actual cover doing during tours for that. It was so hard to do anything with it.
yeah. That's definitely a crazy piece of art, especially if you're like hesitant to at dropping time about it. You're like, oh shit, what exactly do we do with this? Like
Yeah.
some a piece of art that I've seen that was pretty fucking crazy on your website right now is that Fluids Pharmacist split. How did you
Oh
feel
yeah.
about that art when you saw it?
I didn't want to do the full color version of it right away
Yeah,
of like the actual cover. This dude, Alex, who works with us, he does like like preps all of our graphics and does all the shirt mocks and shit. I sent him that fluids cover, not really thinking that I needed to warn him about it, but also not thinking that he's gonna get into his email at 9 a.m. and that's gonna be the first thing he sees. And he's just over at his computer and just here like, whoa, like all right. He's like, wasn't expecting this is how my day was gonna start. He's like, this is kind of a fucked start to the day. But yeah, they ended up doing it on like the kind of solid, just like it's like blue and pink and purple, so that it's not as gross. You don't exactly know what it is right away till you look at it up close.
yeah, that shit was intense when I saw it for the first time. I was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, and it's funny because I was on a mission for the longest time to get the sickest, like nastiest, craziest looking shirts. And then even there, I was like, ooh, like that one's a rough a rough cover to be rocking with. Like, you know,
Yeah, that's not even the grossest thing they've sent us. They sent us something. It was like a dude just covered in shit.
oh
He's got like a big old smile on his face, just smeared. I was like,
god, that's crazy,
I
man.
was like, who exactly is this for? Like, it's like we can make it, but who are we making it for?
Like Theo said, some of the shirts that are too, he said like some of the ones that are too like satanic or like religious, like very taboo shirts, they have to get printed at nighttime. Is that what's that about? Like,
Some of the stuff, or not necessarily at nighttime, but that like Cradle of Filth, Jesus is a cunt.
yeah,
Like when that shirt runs, it's not even like we've run like other shit that's like violent or has boobs on it or whatever, but there's something about that design. I think just the fact that it's giant like impact font that just says Jesus is a cunt on the back of it. They got to be like, all right, what time, for the like shop we work with, they're like, we're gonna run this when someone who's not going to be totally bummed on this is here. It's gonna like run in the press. in the back or some shit, you know.
Yeah.
It's just there's all sorts of stuff like that. That's just when I used to work at another shop, they would have like super just gross, violent shit come over, you know, just the same shit we did, but they were a shop open to the public, so they would have like any metal band send stuff over. There was like what band was it? Some slam band, but it had like a girl stuck in a dick with like a hammer to her head.
Oh
And I
fuck.
remember that was a big controversy of just like, so when exactly are we going to print this? Like, which group of people are going to be comfortable and pressed with this just like most vile shit going on right now on it? But then they ended up doing prints for some like porn stars sites over there.
Yeah.
So it'd just be like straight up prints of porn on merch. And they were doing a tour where they had people from the city there, you know, like whoever the Chamber of Commerce person, stuff like that, checking out the shop. And they go in the back while they're printing all this shit. And I think they were doing something for Buck Angel, that guy Pussy Man.
Yeah.
He's like the big buff dude that's got a pussy. And so all the Chamber of Commerce people like walk in, like checking out this business, and someone's just screen printing a giant fucking man pussy.
Jesus Christ. That's fucking crazy, man. Like it's
Yeah,
funny.
so
Fuck.
that ends up being wilder than any metal shirt you can have because they could have walked by a shirt with a skull getting smashed by a hammer or whatever. No one would have said anything about it, but that
Yeah. That's
that's gonna
fucking
turn some
nuts.
people off.
Is that indecent exposure? Like if you're walking around with a Johnson on your fucking shirt, like damn.
Hey man, I think it's art. You can put on whatever there, right? As long as you're
Right?
not the one busting it out.
Good fucking point, man. I know I get some crazy ass looks, and I get crazy ass looks at bad times when I'm wearing shit. Like I remember one time I was wearing like a fucking Cannibal Corpse shirt to a fucking to a water park, man, and I fucked up because my friends were smoking. I don't smoke, you know. I'm more of a drinker, and I fucking smoked, and I became self aware all of a sudden, and then I realized everybody was looking at my shirt, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm gonna get fucking taken out of this place, man. But
Dude, when I was touring with Black Dahlia Murder, we showed up at the airport one day, and we're all meeting up to go to the airport, and Trevor's got on some slam band shirt with three pussies sewn together on the shirt, just like right across the front. I was like, "That's the shirt you picked for the airport, man. Like, you could wear that all 30 days of tour, no one would say anything, but the day to the airport, that's when he's like, oh, I guess I didn't think about it. It's like, I hope no one looks at this to tell what this is right now, as we're like trying to go through customs because we're not doing like an hour long flight. We were flying to Europe. We had like 14 hours of travel ahead of us. He's got three pussies on his shirt.
that's fucking great, man. I was actually on a flight to fucking Vegas the other day, and I was fucked up. We were already drunk because we're going to Vegas, me and my boy, and it was for my post wedding bachelor party. So because we didn't do it before, so he was like, "I gotta take
Yeah.
you," and we're doing it. And my wife was cool, so I was like, "Hell yeah!" So we're flying out there, and I said to my boy, I was like, "Yeah, man." He was all upset because he don't like flying. You know, he was sitting there all, you know, just like upset. You know, wanting to get off the plane. And I was like, "Man, you all right? Wake up." He's like, "I'm tired." I said, "You need a Red Bull." And he's like, you know, and then I'm like, "No, you need a red bone." And everybody looked at me on the plane because they didn't know what red bone meant. And yeah, it was just a really awkward moment, man. And then I ended up sitting next to the same people on the flight back from Vegas that all looked at me, and the guy that was sitting right next to me was like, he like looked over at me like, oh god, I'm sitting by these guys right now, and ah, it was awkward as hell. So I could feel that being the awkward situation on the plane.
Oh,
Oh
dude.
shit.
Yeah, traveling while someone's fucked up is the worst. We had man, I can't say who the person is because I don't want to bum them out. Okay. So I was on tour once, and one of the dudes got pretty fucked up, and we were in the UK, and we were flying to Finland for like a one-off show, and there was three bands on the bus together. I was handling all three bands, and one of the bands was kind of having like what from afar looked like an altercation with this group of local dudes, and there's literally like an Eastern European dude in a full-on tracksuit. You know, looks like he's like out of a Van Damme movie, And one of the dudes we were with goes over to go like break everything up, and he just walks over and is like, "Hey, what's going on?" The dude in the tracksuit turns, like, spins around, doesn't even look at him, spin kicks him in the face, knocks him out. He falls on the ground, busts his chin open, and he's like pretty fucked up to begin with, going over there. And so he's just bleeding everywhere. And we have to go on a plane to go to Finland in like 6 hours, something like that. Like he doesn't even have enough time to sober up,
Yeah.
let alone get cleaned up from smashing his face open after getting knocked out. And so we're at the airport and we cleaned him up as best as we could because we were just in like a parking lot before that. We weren't at a hotel or anything. So we're like cleaning him up as well as we can in a parking lot and kind of putting like paper towels in the fucking wound in his chin because he should have gone and got stitches. It was so bad.
Yeah.
And we're at the airport. And I'm just like, put your sweatshirt hood up, put sunglasses on, man, do whatever so you don't look totally fucking crazy. He's got dry blood all over his hands, like looks like the Unabomber. And I'm like, all right, go up to the counter. And he's like still a little out of it. He gives him his passport. And as he's giving him the passport, there's blood dripping out of his chin and it's fucking hitting the countertop of the like the ticket booth, and I was like, this is the worst, man. This is where we're gonna fucking go to jail. So like this is where someone's gonna notice us and be on the same flight with us, and we're just gonna be banned from flying forever. And
Yeah.
somehow we got, you know, through it. He didn't say anything too crazy to anyone. He sobered up. I think probably the stress of going through the airport was the last little bit that he needed to get sobered up before getting on the plane. Because I remember even while we were going through security, he was like still a little fucked up. But once we got to the plane, man, he was all right. But I was fucking stressing that whole time.
God, that's got to be crazy, man. Keeping people's shit together. Like, it's funny
Yeah,
because, like, I know, you were tour manager for like Black Dahlia for a cool minute, and like they seem like good as good ass dudes to tour with. I've seen the videos,
yeah,
and like they seem like just a blast. Like they keep their shit together, and they're really about it. They're about having a good time and like not getting too wild and shit. But that's fucking crazy having to manage some people that are like when shit happens like that, because I totally feel you on that. I've been with like friends where you're just like, fuck man, come on, get it together right
oh,
now. I
dude.
need you to get it together.
Dude, we were with one band going through customs coming from France back into England, getting ready to go through. And one of the dudes is just all fucked up, talking shit to the border guards. And it's just like, yo, man, I need you to be quiet. They will not let us through. And he's like, I'm an American. They have to let us through. And it's like, we're not going to the USA, dude. We're going to fucking England. They don't care that you're an American.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. Like that's how fucked up you are. You don't know where we're going right now.
Oh my god, holy shit, man, that's
Yeah, for
fucking
the record, that
nuts.
wasn't Black Dahlia murder. They've always been sober at border crossings.
Yeah, they keep their shit together. Fucking,
Yeah.
that's nuts, man. So when you started your first tour with them, were because I seen them like doing the van shit in the beginning. Like, at what point did you come in? It was after they were doing like more comfortable
Uh,
touring.
no, we're in the band still. It was the last little bit of the Miasma record.
Okay,
So
okay,
I did Ozfest 2005, which was the tour that Miasma came out on. But I was with the Haunted, and that's when I got to know those guys. And they asked me to come out with them, I think on the tour right after that, because their tour manager was going back to school. And for whatever reason, it didn't work out. I couldn't do the tour with them. I probably had something booked with someone else already. So I guess it was probably the next tour after that because they did Ozfest. They did the tour where they went out and they had like the beach party tour where they were all in Hawaiian shirts and shit the whole time. And I think the next one was the one I did with them, which was Sounds of the Underground.
okay.
And I did that. I was only supposed to do that tour with them as kind of a one-off thing, but we'd like gotten along as friends before that, but then we could like work together pretty well. And they were going out with Hatebreed right afterwards, and they asked me to go with them for that. And I was supposed to go out with I think 1349. I ended up having to bail on 1349 and go with Black Dahlia. Ended up, working out great because obviously I worked with Black Dahlia. I toured with them for like 4 or 5 years after that straight, and then I've been working with them doing their merch ever since then. I think I've worked with them for close to 15 years now,
Yeah.
or not over 15 years. Shit, yeah, 2000, yeah, 15 years this year, 2006 to 2001.
Damn. And then when
And
did you stop doing all the? You decided to like just make night shift merch a thing, like, and just go all out on it, like.
that was 2 years ago. I
Yeah.
worked at Indie Merch for 10 years before that. And then I was kind of just done working for someone else doing it because there was a lot of shit that I just wanted done a specific uh, way. And so I just left, did my own thing. So yeah, it's been a little over 2 years, 2 years and a couple months, something like that now. So it's like the craziest 2 years to a pick. Like who knew that it would be the time that just everyone gets locked in and the touring goes away completely.
Yeah, do you feel like it's been like good for business over the last year? Like just that ever metal popping off and going fucking crazy. I feel like your site may be a lot of people's first metal merch that they're purchasing and shit, because it's one of the first results when you're looking up specific bands and shit that are hot in the scene.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know how I kind of stumbled into the dumb luck of our SEO, man, or like the search engine optimization, because we don't pay for any ads really or any shit like that. I think we pay for a little bit of Google stuff now, but we've been really lucky that people have just been into it and like posting our shit. The bands post it, so I think we have like really good links, so we get high up on shit. It was kind of I was like stressing about it pretty bad when I left because that was like always a thing that they say like, well, if you leave the company you're with for so long, you're gonna like lose all those search results and shit. And within like 2 or 3 months, we were like already up in the top searches, which was pretty crazy. And then when we started doing the distro stuff, that started out because originally we were only going to do the bands we worked with, but then during the pandemic, so many like record stores were shut down, and then there was like other places that just weren't able to ship shit. Um, which like that's like kind of the blessing and the curse of being in Florida. Like they don't really give a shit what you do here, so we never really had to shut down during COVID or anything.
Yeah.
So like while a lot of other places had to totally shut down, we were able to just keep going like normal and get shit out there. So we started doing the distro just because we knew some bands who had records that were coming out and like people weren't going to be able to get them anywhere.
Yeah, dude.
So we picked that up. But, yeah, that ended up being just like really fucking good for us. Like as far as just like stumbling into the SEO because we had so many bands and like people were searching shit and our place was the only place you could get some of it.
Yeah, dude. Like, fuck. I remember the beginning of the pandemic. I was fucking tripping. I'm in California, man, so we were fucking scared shitless.
The opposite problem.
Yeah, I knew everything. It was crazy because I knew it was gonna happen before it happened, and I knew shit was gonna shut down before it happened because I used to trade like I used to trade so hard on fucking the stock market. I used to do options and all that shit. So I'd be every day watching the markets for every country. And I saw like all the news coming out of China and shit, like just related to the stock market. And like there was a day
Yeah,
where they froze it for like a week. And I was like, yo, this shit's serious. Because the money's real. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, there
yeah,
could be propaganda, whoop de whoop, all this shit. The money's real as fuck. So when I saw that, I was like, the market's gonna crash any fucking day. They're gonna start shutting shit down. And I saw the San Jose Sharks. They stopped playing, and I was like, fuck. It's here. It's a wrap. They're about to shut my whole office building down. I told the VP of my office, I said, yo, transition everyone to work from home. They fucking laughed at me.
yeah,
2 days later, they're giving the order to send everybody fucking home. And they didn't know what to do. They lost a whole bunch of people as a result of that. And I was like, we needed a plan, but it is what it is, man. Like it's how shit worked out.
yeah,
And it was a really weird, scary time. Like there was all sorts of crazy shit going on, but your business still functioning and you guys still shipping shit out, like made kept some sanity, in my life, and I bet in a lot of fucking people's lives. Because I remember getting shit. Like you've been doing the Black Dahlia monthly drops on the final
yeah.
Friday.
It's all year.
Dude, that was the first vinyl I ever bought when you redid Unhollowed, and I was like so stoked to fucking get that, especially now that vinyl, we're like fucking
Yeah,
really
it's
trying
like
to get
impossible
vinyl.
to get now.
Yeah, like that was something. I remember the first couple night shift merch packages that I got. I was like, oh shit, it's coming from Florida. And I remember I'd throw it in my garage for 2 days, and then I would open it up because, dude, we were spooked, bro.
Yeah, yeah, no, everyone was doing that
Yeah,
shit
I
too.
was.
People were doing it with their groceries, getting groceries picked up and leaving them in the garage for a day.
Yeah, like And then it got to the point like after like 2 months, I was like, "Fuck it, I need to open this shit as soon as I get it." Like, fuck it, man. Like, it was crazy. It was definitely a really weird dynamic, but it brought people into it. And like, I didn't even know like Warflurch was doing, or Mike from Warflurch was doing, Warflurch Wednesday and shit. And once I discovered this community of fucking people that are, doing this merch, getting merch every week, getting shit and sharing it with everybody in the community, and I got looped in, I was like, dude, this is a cool fucking thing to be a part of, you know. And
That's the cool thing about this era of death metal compared to like past shit. In the past, I feel like there was like a way more competition on shit. There's like people that wanted to basically like get into death metal to be rock stars, which is like kind of a weird line of thought. There was like even a band that we were on tour with once where the singer was talking to Trevor and it was just like, you need to not be so open and close with your fans. Like you need to still be a rock star and like have a separation from them. We're just like, this is fucking crazy. This is like how some of these dudes think. Um, and now it's just like everyone's like promoting every other band. Everyone's just like, check out this band, check out this band. Like dudes that aren't even on tour together, like being like, yo, we're gonna be in town on this day, but this other band's down the street. Like, go see them and then come to our show, or like go see them, like fuck it, skip our show. We'll be back in 2 weeks, which I mean, a few years ago that shit would have never happened. Like everyone was so like intent on making their shit work. And now it's just like the bands are doing it. Everyone is like, oh, this is actually working out for everyone. There's like an actual scene of bands and people are like going to all the shows and they're getting into the bands that they check out. Like Mike, I mean, on those Warflirts Wednesdays, there's so many people checking out the bands that he talks about, or like, just there's so many dudes that, like we talked about like Snuffed on Sight is like the biggest like promoting band ever in the fucking world right now. And like I think everyone's checked them out because he's just like so positive in everyone's comments and just like shit's sick, this shit's sick. And then after a while you're like, what's this Snuffed on Sight that's in everyone's comments? Just fucking loving like all the shit that I like. It's kind of like being in the liner notes of a record of like, oh, this is their friend. But yeah, there's just like a bunch of bands like that now.
yeah, man. And it's fucking bizarre because you said in an interview with Metal Injection like a year ago, you were like, I think it was like August 2020, and you were like, anybody that is out there and you want to support these bands that don't have any merch, just start making merch for them. Start a little label or whatever, and you might not make a lot of money, but you're gonna fucking make back what you put into it, and
Yeah.
support these bands. And you see Barbaric Brutality, Frozen Screams, fucking all of these like badass indie labels that are just jumping out and putting out great fucking shit. And you've been collaborating with them. I seen fucking, like Frozen. I've seen Warflurch on your shit, and I've seen Frozen Scream shit on your page. It's like, dude, when did you start working with smaller indie
Sorry, I lost
labels
you for
like
a
that?
second, man. It just
Oh,
lagged
so
for a
no.
second, so I didn't hear what you said.
Oh yeah, no, I was saying, and you've been really supportive of these like smaller indie labels and shit. Like, when did you start working with these indie labels, or was this something you were always kind of doing with Night Shift?
So, this is like so more so before when I was with the labels, because like as far as like how far you can spread yourself thin, you can like only work with so many bands. Like you can work with like 40 bands before you're like totally maxed out of just time. But you can work with like labels and then there's other people helping. Like even if it's one dude at the label, like let's say that one dude's working with 12 bands and then they're all funneling through, it just makes it so you can work with more bands, get out there with more shit. Um, so when I was over there, I got them like hooked up with a bunch of different labels. So when I went over to doing Night Shift, the first thing was like working with the bands because like that's the core thing. Those are like the dudes that I was friends with, and I wanted to work direct with people. And then afterwards, it was more so with the distro shit. We started buying some shit in. Like I think we started buying shit off Everlasting Spew, and then we ended up setting up a store for them. We ended up buying a bunch of shit from Maggot Stomp, and then now we do like licensed shirts direct with Maggot Stomp, and they brought us over Fulci, to work with because they're like, yo, they need some people in the U.S. doing their stuff, and they were just doing it as a friend thing. Like they weren't even doing it as a label thing for them, just hooking their friends up with other friends. We started doing shit with Spike Rod, and so now it's like more and more labels, and so with the distro, I can work with more labels just like directly with their own shit. Like I can go to Tank Crimes direct and get a bunch of records, and it works out for everyone because they don't have to pay the distributor fees because they're selling direct to us, and we don't have to pay like a higher markup on the records. And we just like we usually try to keep all of our prices the same as what they're doing, so that like people can just get the shit without getting like gouged on it. We're trying to find shit that's been out of print other places. Like just yesterday, we put about a bunch of Commodus stuff that came from Go to War in China that was all sold out, and so people were like all stoked on that because even though it's not a big band, it's shit that was only put out in China. It's sold out in like a fucking second, and
Yeah.
so people had their second chance to get it in the States, get it at like a little bit more reasonable price, and actually like have a chance to get shit that's sold out in a second elsewhere. So that's like our big thing, just trying to get shit like that in.
Yeah, that fucking makes sense, man. Like that, especially international distribution, it's a pain in the ass for a lot of people. Like I fucking, you know what's fucked up? I bought fucking. You ever heard of Derweg Einer Freight?
Was that a black metal band or whatever? They got the little clean but spiky logo.
Yeah, yeah. They fucking
Yeah, yeah.
they're out of like Germany and shit. I got into them because I saw them on that Slay at Home shit, and I like was looking everywhere to buy
Mhm.
their merch, and the only way to get it was from Germany. And I fucking spent. I was like, I'm waiting for them to do like a real nice drop, so that way I can fucking, get a good amount of shit and make the shipping
Yeah,
worth it. Cause shipping was like fucking $40, man.
yeah,
And
dude. Shipping prices are crazy now.
yeah, like their vinyls dropped. I bought. They did like a re-release of every vinyl, so I was like, okay, that justifies it. I'm buy every vinyl, a shirt, and their tab books or whatever. So I get that shit. And then my dumb ass, I Google it to check the status of it, and I was trying to find the site again, and I found an American distributor for them with everything that I bought, and I was like, God damn it,
Yeah.
I could have got like two more shirts, man. Like fuck. But sometimes,
Well, hopefully you just buy it straight from them over there, so they got a couple extra bucks.
yeah, no, exactly. That's the other thing too. It's like supporting bands. They make a lot of bands make way more money off the merch than touring, huh? Like that's just the fucking
Well, like yeah, off of doing shows. I mean, dude, we have bands that go out on tour, and like if it wasn't for the merch, they would be losing their ass. Especially a bunch of European bands where they got to pay for all the flights to come over, they got to pay for the visas, they got to pay all the taxes, they got to bring all their crew over and shit like that. So by then, like all your show money's gone to paying for all that. So merch is basically your place where you're making your cash at the end of the day.
yeah, fuck, man. So support your bands. Everybody buy some Night Shift merch too. You gotta buy Night Shift merch. You gotta buy. Well, you can't buy this one anymore. But I got
Oh
the
shit,
Black
yeah.
Dahlia Murder pint glass. I seen
I
the. What do you say?
I think we have like 8 of them that I got to put online. We were just going through some boxes, and I found one box that didn't get put online. So there might be a way to get some more of them.
Damn, you heard it here first. Keep an eye out for that. Is
Yeah,
there going to be a Verminous drop on the final
yeah,
Friday of? And is that the
yeah,
final one for the year?
yeah. That's the last one. So and it's actually so it'll go up on Friday, but there'll be a way to get like an early thing on it on Thursday. So check our site on Thursday. If you like follow us or you're subscribed to our newsletter or anything like that, just Thursday morning check your shit.
Yeah, dude. Hell
So because our
yeah.
Black Friday sale starts on Friday, but we're gonna try to hook up all the people that have been supporting us the whole time before so they can get in a little early.
All right on. We got the Black Friday
Oh
deal
shit,
right
there it
here.
is.
Friday you get 20% off, Saturday 15%, Sunday 10%, Monday free US shipping. And that's the code right there, everybody. You got to follow Night Shift merch on IG. You got to go on the website. You got to look at this fucking merch. It's off the hook. If you haven't, I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are here fuck with Night Shift merch, because if they fuck with me, they know what Night Shift merch is. Like shit. But yeah, man, that's fucking crazy. Something I did want to ask you about, a specific piece of merch. How do you feel about the current value of those fucking slime vinyls that dropped?
Oh god, yeah, I saw someone was selling them for like what is it, $800 the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we kind of figured that would happen. We figured that most people would want to just hold on to it and not let it go. As far as I know, only one of them has been sold, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe more than that, but I heard that the one that sold was $1,000, which is pretty fucking nuts.
Jesus Christ. That's
I mean, I can't believe that someone spent. I mean, I guess I can because there was so few of them, and it was a thing where if we were able to make more at the time, we would have. But they're made by this dude, Romanus Records, so he's like a one man operation. And when you do a record with him, he's like, "Yeah, I can do it, but I can only do 50 at the most because it's a pretty involved process."
yeah.
Um, and so with that one, normally he does like a lathe cut, but we were in all that shit early enough that Metal Blade was able to set it up where we get two one-sided clear vinyl pressings to send him. Um, so yeah, it's definitely we'll. I don't think we'll ever be in the situation where you can get the shit pressed like that again. So it makes sense to get it because if there was ever, I mean, not that we are going to do it, but if there was another one in the future, it'd be a lathe cut record. It's like not going to be as good quality as the ones you have now because now the ones that are out there play like a regular record. There's no difference in the sound between those and the other ones. It's just filled with some shit.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, man. Like, do you think that's the most expensive like resale price you've seen on anything you put on your website?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. It's gonna be a while before anything else sells for $1,000.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. I know. I try to buy like cool, like off the wall shit. My girl got me the death candle that you guys had. Like fucking just cool, like whenever I see some shit like that, I'm like, I gotta snag it. And I fucking didn't. I didn't pull the trigger on the slime because I wasn't collecting vinyl yet. And now that I started my
Yeah.
vinyl collection, I'm kicking myself in the ass so much for it, man. I was like, fuck, that would
I
have
mean,
been.
those went in like a second. I think those were gone in like 30 seconds.
Yeah. You know what's
That's, I mean,
funny?
the fastest something's
The the
sold
pins
out.
too. The fucking the
Fucking crazy
enamel
quick.
pins. Weren't they nocturnal enamel pins? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gargoyles. That was one thing that because I'm on it every month. I'm at it at 9 a.m. I'm like, I don't even look at what the fuck's dropping. I'm just like, add it to the cart as fast as possible,
Yeah.
you know? And yeah, man, those enamel pins were hard to fucking snag too. And then they were on pull the plug, but they had Australian time, so it was like timing was all fucked up.
Yeah. So we did those with pull the plug and we thought that they were going to make like 200 of them, something like that, 200 or 250 of them, which even 200 250 would have gone pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then our copies showed up and there was like 30 of them. We're like, oh, fuck. Like, well, these are going to be gone in a second. And because he had some copies there, and then the guy who designed them had some copies. Everyone who had copies were like gone in an instant. So I don't know if he's going to make more of them or do anything like that because this whole thing used to be that everything was like super limited one time. But now that he's doing Metallica and stuff like that, there's been some talk of rerunning some of the things that he's done in the past. So if
Yeah.
it does, I'll definitely suggest that he remakes those because those were a thing that like a bunch of people were bummed on just how quick they went, and they look fucking awesome in person. So it is like a bummer that there's only a few of them out there.
Yeah, my wife, she's obsessed with enamel pins. Like she collects, like anime enamel pins and like, different characters and shit. And some of them are worth a lot. And she told me, she was like, those are gonna sell hella
Really?
fast. Yeah, there's a whole
Hmm.
community, man, of like fucking
I,
resellers.
I knew all the like pin trading and shit. Like my niece is into that Disney pin trading stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as the others, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's people who collect fucking everything, man.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking here. Let me show you something real quick. I've never showed
Yeah.
this on the you mind if I show this? She doesn't mind if I show it. But this is the wall of pins. And this
Oh, I
is
gotta
just
turn this
one
side up.
board.
Yeah, that's a lot of pens.
And then there's more. They're all over the fucking place in this house, man. Like holy shit. We could forge like if we ever needed to like survive, we can melt them all down and make like supplies. I don't know why the fuck. There's a bunch of other shit we can melt down, but
No,
fucking
take the pens out, man. Fuck it.
yeah. She's gonna be like, not my pins.
Yeah. How
But
am I gonna
yeah,
survive the apocalypse without my pins?
yeah. I know. I was like, at first I was tripping when she started collecting them. I'm like, what are you so into them? She's like, they're shiny, And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'd rather her be into that than jewelry. And I like them too, because jewelry's more expensive, man. Jewelry's, whew.
Wait a minute, it's still jewelry. It's a pin.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is
there's dumb shit
jewelry.
people can do too. I
Oh,
got all
shit.
these things, all this.
You got the figures going.
Yeah.
That's
So that's
crazy.
like, yeah, that's the other waste of money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I got the statues coming too. She told me she never wants to ask me for the statues because she's like, I know those are worth like 100 or something each. Like you gotta. She only asked me for one every once in a while. Like for our anniversary, I grabbed
Wait,
her like.
statues? What statues?
Uh.
Oh, those anime statues?
Yeah. I got her like a Gojo
Oh,
from
dude.
Jujutsu Kaisen and fucking.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was gonna buy a fucking Yu Yu Hakusho one. It's just a funny little thing. They got ones that like you sit on top of your ramen cups to keep it closed, and I was like, oh, that's like a problem that I never thought of. I always put a spoon on there, but I was, I'll get one of these. I go click on it thinking it's gonna be like, I figure it's like an anime thing, so it's gonna be more than it should be. I'm like, this will be like $8 or $12. I click on it, I was like, it's like $45. I was like, this thing's fucking 3 inches tall,
Yeah.
sits on a ramen cup lid. I was like, I cannot spend $45 on this.
Yeah. Got to draw the line somewhere, man. I.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they got some what was it? Evangelion, I guess, and 7-Eleven in Japan. They did special 7-Eleven Avas that you could only go to a 7-Eleven store and buy. It's like fucking like 8 feet tall and costs like $15,000.
Jesus
You had to like
Christ.
go bring like a money order for $15,000 down to 7-Eleven to go pick it up, and then they bring it to your house. But I saw it; it's so wild, It's just like 7-Eleven Ava. That would be pretty sick. Don't think I'm ever gonna have $15,000 that I can just blow on that without like my wife cutting my head off.
I know. I feel that. I copped one of those arcade one ups for my birthday.
Oh
The
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
I got what was it? The Marvel versus Capcom one, and I was like, I set it up, and I was like, oh fuck! Like I feel shameful every time I'm playing on it because how much it cost. It was like $600.
really?
It's yeah,
Oh, those are
like
that much? Are you
yeah, dude.
serious? Holy shit.
The price of so during the fucking pandemic, price of vinyl, well, not price of
Mm-hmm.
vinyl, but vinyl backed up in fucking MDF. The board
Yeah,
that they use for that shit is so expensive now. They up their prices. So I'm
that's
calling bullshit
crazy.
though.
I've got like
MDF.
one of those bar top ones, man, that has it's got like 3,000 games on it. We got one of those in the shop.
Oh, that's fucking sick, man. Yeah, I love that shit. Just like having that experience because you don't. I mean, shit, man, they don't have arcades anymore. I remember being a kid and like playing fucking Mortal Kombat at 7-Eleven every day. I was so short they had to put up the little stool for me to stand on so I could reach the buttons and shit. You know, like it's an
Oh, dude,
experience now.
I worked at a record store. We had Mortal Kombat 2 arcade machine in the record store, so we used to play that shit all the time.
One of my earliest memories like was well not just playing it but we were in San Francisco and we're walking down Mission Street and there was a fucking pool hall and I seen Raiden on the side of the fucking machine and it was like across the street from us and I seen it through like the door swung open and I fucking booked it across the street like my parents were like what the hell are you doing and I ran inside and I put
Yeah.
my hands on the machine. I was like Mortal Kombat 2 and my mom and dad are like what the fuck are you doing like no you're definitely not playing Mortal Kombat 2 right now and I was about it but it's a trip because so I got one on the way and fucking the plan is if it's a boy, name's gonna be Raiden from Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat
Pretty
1.
wild. That's
Yeah,
some
man.
dedication.
Hell yeah. Oh, I used to play competitively and shit too, so I'm like
Oh,
really,
really?
yeah, really big into Mortal Kombat. I
All
was
right. So
never
you're
good
like
enough.
Wizard, except you have blood code.
Yeah, AB. Oh, dude, fucking. So peep this shit. I'll show you this right quick. Where is my? Where is it? Yeah, see, I got the blood fucking code right here
All right.
on the bottom of my shit. Yeah, man. Total trip, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, how much time you got left? Your arms are looking tired, man. You good?
Let me see what time it is.
I know it's
I
like,
got like another 20 minutes or so.
all right, for sure. Yeah, you
Does
got to
that
cut me.
work?
Fucking, what was I saying? Next, Damn, man. What are some bands right now? I seen you at the Body Box show. I'm planning on having them on pretty soon. Fucking, and
It's
then Hunter
gonna have
Young.
Harry on. Yep.
Who would you fucking recommend that the viewers check out? Like, local or just shit that you're just discovering. That rabbit hole goes forever, man.
Yeah, I mean, you start doing that, and then it like never fuck ends. We went and saw War Flirts and Unto Others the other night at two different shows, but Unto Others, that new record fucking rules. Is this band Combat with a K from Texas that we've been pretty into lately? We've been listening to that a pretty good amount. What else we've been listening to in the shop? A new Fulci record is sick.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, someone was just asking me what we were listening to in the shop the other day, and as I literally have to like go in and go look at what we were listening to. When we're like working, we're listening to so much city pop and shit like that. So we end up getting, yeah, Universally Estranged from Texas. That shit's pretty sick. New Toners, Stab Wounds is good. Um, Everything Barbaric Brutality's been doing has been pretty fun, but getting all this stuff on site cassettes. Um, Hopefully, Graveview's got a new one that hopefully will come out at some point. Dylan that plays drums in Graveview and Body Box works for us, so he's been like playing that in the shop every once in a while. Whenever someone new comes in and like wants to hear the new Graveview shit, he plays that. But then he was just saying today that I guess Hunter just remixed and remastered all that shit. And from Florida, uh, Cold, like a new band. This is Jacksonville, the sample. Fucking man, such let's do Eternal Champion. Listen to that a shitload, and then we start getting like the traditional heavy metal rabbit hole, like that band Hollis from Sweden. Uh, I don't even know how to say it. Say beer, whatever from Australia. They're on No Remorse, same label as Eternal Champion. But yeah, man, all sorts of shit like that we end up listening to all fucking day long. It's like the thing with having just five people in a warehouse and just everyone putting on the new shit that they're into all the time. There's like a million things, and it's like I don't even know what I want to listen to anymore.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. I can't find anybody that wants to listen to metal around here. I'm like, fuck. I like put that shit on. My girl, she tolerates, what I put on and she'll like get down with me, but like it was so it's hella funny, man, because I won Black Dahlia murder fucking ticket from you back when the
Oh,
tie-dye
really?
shirts came out. Yeah. When the tie-dye shirts came
Yeah.
out, I
Okay,
fucking
sick.
yeah, I got one, and I was laughing because I already bought 4 tickets to that show, and my girl was gonna come, but it was just me and her, so I had 2 extra tickets. The 2 people that wanted to go with us flaked on us, and then I had the ticket, that you sent with your name on it. So I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I got 3 tickets. So I was like, who the fuck do I give these to? Like, I want to bring more people to the show. They have to see this. And the Blasphemes group on fucking
Yeah.
Facebook, I was like, yo, who the fuck's in the Bay Area? I know you would appreciate this shit. Let's go.
That's awesome.
And fucking, 2 dudes came through. I didn't bump into them at the show. They both went though, and they took pictures and
Yeah.
shit. And I was like, right on. I'm glad I could give you guys, that experience, because like that band, that show, dude. It was my first time seeing Black Dahlia, and
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, I like every time they come to the Bay, I always miss them. Did you see this latest tour? Do you see them every time they go on tour and come by, or
So I
what?
was gonna go to this one, and then I got COVID right as tour started.
Fuck.
So we were like talking about it. We're like, fuck, you guys are gonna go on tour. And it was like, pretty early on, we're like, you're all gonna fucking get COVID. Like, it's gonna suck. And then literally they leave for tour. And I think they were 2 or 3 days into tour and I got COVID. And I got it like not bad, but I was like put out for like 3 weeks, man. Shit
Yeah.
fucked me up. So that fucked up my whole month. Like I got better from that. And we were supposed to set up a Decibel Fest. It was literally like we were supposed to I don't think I booked my ticket to go to Decibel Fest until the Monday before or some shit like that. Because it was just down there. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fly yet or not or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I went up to that and then I ended up missing that. that tour. I missed the Cradle of Filth tour that we did shit for. Basically, I missed like most of the shit we were supposed to do for because you miss 3 weeks of work and then you have so much shit to catch up with. I mean, there's like dudes who work for us where there's so much stuff that only I can do, like just dumb shit, like doing the taxes or paying the insurance bills, like all that just time consuming, just not fun part of having a job. So, you know, you get behind on like the taxes and then you got to figure out your fucking late fees and then you got to catch up with your next taxes and do all that. So something that should have taken you, 10 minutes after you're late caught up on it, you're spending a whole day just catching up on that shit.
Yeah, dude, I feel that. I gotta buy the fucking. I'm turning this motherfucker into a LLC eventually. This death matches and death metal shit, and I'm like,
But
man, do I really want to do it? Like, I mean, I'm not making money on it yet, but I have to do it so someone doesn't steal the name or fucking, I gotta register my shit, and it's just like I'm procrastinating on it. Motherfuckers, don't take my name, but yeah, man,
I mean, you got it out there now, just from the sake that you got it out there, you got some sort of copyright on it.
yeah, exactly. I know. I talked to a dude that he makes video games for a fucking. He makes independent video games, and he had the name for his shit, and he was putting out demos
Mm-hmm.
for his game, and he never did the legal shit for it. And then as he was getting ready to release it, he found out he couldn't release it underneath that name because someone else snatched it up, and he was like,
Oh,
"Damn,
while he was doing everything?
yeah, someone just bought the
Oh,
name
shit, that
and then was
sucks.
trying to sell it to him." He's like, "Man, fuck this! I'll just pick a new name." Like, you know.
Oh, dude, that was the long thing with picking the company name is we had to find something that no one had. We didn't have the socials out for everything, so then we had to go pick up like before the company name was even registered. I had to go snatch all the socials, and then we registered the company name right after that. But it was like I had to register them on everything, even if we don't use it, because we don't use like Snapchat or LinkedIn or shit like that. But it's just like, all right, we got to have the Snapchat. The LinkedIn one, I didn't even think about it. We just had this new girl that started like 3 weeks ago, and she's like, like no one's got your LinkedIn. I'm like, oh, I didn't think that anyone would fucking go snake the LinkedIn, but I guess we got to register that one.
God damn.
It's just like everything. We had to get like TikTok, the YouTube, all that shit, man, just so you could prove that you were on there first with the name. And so someone doesn't try to sell your shit back. Like the name that we had before, we got most of the social names, but I think it was Instagram. Someone was like squatting it. We like hit them up. We're like, yo, can we get this off you? And they're like, no, I think I'm going to use this still. And it's like, you have one post 6 years ago. What do you mean you think you're going to use this still? Like, you're just squatting this till someone pays you.
Yeah. Yeah, I snatched up the Mayvizzle website like hella quick, for my name. But I
Yeah,
was like, "Fuck!" Yeah, I just relaunched it too, so I'm putting everything that's here. I fucking throw it up there because I'm like, all right, it's easy for people to find. But YouTube's where it's at, man. It's just like,
yeah,
it's fucking weird, man. Make, trying to make it in social media, like, I was never good at social media. That's why this shit's all new to me. I'm like, oh fuck, people are cool and they want to talk to me. Like, what the fuck? So it's a total trip. But yeah, you got to get the name. That's why I'm Mayvizzle 2 though. That's the fucked up part. I'm Mayvizzle 2 because somebody took
uh,
fucking Mayvizzle and they're not even active anymore. It's someone that's squatted on
see,
the name. Yeah, I was like,
you got to
man,
switch the name early. You got to pick a name that no one's got yet. I mean,
yep,
I was shocked that no one had night shift merch on fucking everything. I thought someone would have had all that shit already.
yeah, that's fucking nuts, man. So night shift merch, everybody. Fucking holy shit, man. Hey, am I officially sponsored by Night Shift merch? Like you
Yeah,
now
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. I'll send you a second shirt so that you have a new one. Yours is looking like it's a little faded out here, so I'll get you like a nice new one for the official sponsor.
Yo, you heard it here first, everybody. Night Shift motherfucking merch. Holy shit. Thank you so much for blessing me with your fucking time, Kareem. It was an absolute
I thank you,
pleasure
man.
having you. If you ever want to come back on, you ever have anything to promote, I mean, anything, fucking, I should just be reposting everything from Night Shift merch. Fucking,
With the official sponsor once you get that fucking free shirt.
yeah, dude, I already got this free shirt. You sent me this for the Rise of the Triad stream. I
Oh
was,
fuck! Oh shit! I forgot you did that.
yeah, dude, I fucking
How did that stream go? Was it hell playing that now?
it. It was a pain in the ass, but it was a fun game. I played it for the first time, so I was like, oh shit, like this is actually
Yeah,
a good game, and I thought it was funny until I started dying over and over again, and I was just like, fuck. But
yeah,
I said I was gonna marathon it what was it? It was like a 4 hour marathon. I was like, I'm gonna do
Oh
this
fuck.
until Theo from Weeping comes on because it was my first interview,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was just frustrated. I think that I posted the compilation of just me dying over and over
Yeah,
again,
yeah. I saw
being
the thing of you
super
just being like,
deep.
fuck, fuck, fuck.
Yeah, that game was fucking brutal, man. But it's a good game. I definitely everybody check
Yeah.
out Rise of the Triad. It was
I haven't played it since whenever it came out, man. I used to play all that shit all the time.
yeah, that fucking
Oh, dude, if you want a funny one,
pre-storage.
so when I was touring with the Haunted, there were the Bueller brothers that were in At the Gates too, and those dudes had like the most Swedish fucking sense of humor. They would just tell you a lie, and then like a day later they would be laughing their ass off, and then be like, "You believe that?" And one of the things, man, so they would like always do that shit and just be like, they'd be like, "Did you know that Anders has the biggest Star Wars or biggest Star Trek collection in all of Sweden?" I'd be like, "No, I had no clue, man. That's crazy." Like, he has every episode ever on VHS tape. I'm like, "Oh shit, man, cool. I guess he loves Star Trek, man. That's cool." Then a day later, they're like, "Can you believe it? He thought he had all the VHS tapes." And so they would like do that shit to me all the time. And I'd be like, "Man, I don't even know what's a joke or a lie anymore." And then they're like, uh, everyone has to be quiet because Jonas has a Quake tournament that he's going to be in. I'm like, yeah, fucking right. This is some other shit that he's like lying to me about. And I'm like, oh, haha, very, very funny. Jonas likes Quake. Then I come on the bus later and they're like, we said you had to be quiet now. He's in his Quake tournament. He's got this like laptop up on this shit.
Oh
I
my
was like, oh
god.
shit, this is the one you were serious about. Like, okay, okay, fine. Like, you boy who cried wolf me guys too much about just dumb shit of saying that like, dude, they would lie about the dumbest shit. Did you know that Amdos watches 2 movies a day? Yeah, sounds reasonable. Sure. We couldn't believe that you believe that.
That's fucking sick, man. Holy
Yeah.
shit. I'm dead. I I I can't watch 2 movies a day. I could barely watch one movie a week if I'm lucky though. I mean, fuck.
Hey man, if you're a dude in a band who's got nothing to do all day, 2 movies a day is no problem. That was one that sounded reasonable.
Yeah, I know, yeah. If you're just on the bus and shit, you got time.
Yeah.
You ever seen The Raid?
The Wraith? Oh fuck yeah.
Or The Raid 1 and 2? You seen both of them?
Oh, The Raid. I thought you said The Wraith with Charlie Sheen. Yeah, I've
Oh,
seen The Raid too. Yeah.
yeah. What do you think about those movies?
Yeah, I like them. They're fun, man. I mean, the whole like shit where it's like basically you're doing a video game up to the boss level at the top, and was they going to the top or the bottom of the raid? They're going up to the top to fight the dude, right?
Yeah, they're going up to the
It's like the
top.
same as the Dread movie. Yeah, all that shit's fun, man. I like all the 80s, 90s shit, man. We're like big 80s, 90s action movie fans down in the shop, like Action Jackson, Demolition Man, all that shit.
Yeah, I figured you like Bloodsport because that's why I threw you on JCVD on the shit. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I was like, fuck yeah, like that. That was like the rawest era of shit. Rawest era of horror too. Like it was literally just, you could do whatever the fuck you wanted to do because it hadn't been done yet. You know?
Oh yeah, people are getting big budgets to just do dumb shit. I love Van Damme. I mean, we have like so much dumb shit. I got like a Van Damme sudden death crew hockey jersey. I got a big old like sudden death banner in the shop. I got like original cyborg poster. I got the Japanese Universal Soldier poster. I got the kit that they were sending out to karate dojos when Bloodsport came out. They were sending out like it's this letter that's like, please display this Bloodsport in your karate poster in your karate dojo. All this shit. I tracked down the dude who was the publicist at King if he had any more crazy shit like that, just because I got that letter that they sent to the dojos and I saw his name on the bottom, and I found him on Twitter and like, he didn't have anything, but I was like surprised that he was on the good side of history now. He wasn't like I figured he'd be a crazy like QAnon dude or some shit by now,
That's fucked
but he was
up.
like very normal.
It's funny because I got this homie Zach Monday that he's really into death matches. We both like death match wrestling, where motherfuckers are just splitting themselves and shit. And he was lacing me up about like early 2000s deathmatch wrestlers and all this
Hmm.
shit. And there's this one dude he was showing me named Necro Butcher. He was even in. You've seen the wrestler?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
remember the scene where he gets smashed up and he's all bloody
Mm-hmm.
and shit right
Yeah.
when he has a heart attack.
Yep.
Fucking that guy that he wrestled is an actual deathmatch wrestler and shit. And he was showing me these matches of him getting hit with the VCR and all this shit. And I was like, damn, dude, we need to get him on the show. What's he doing now? And he's like, oh, dude, he's like straight up like QAnon motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, that
Yeah, all those
sucks.
people, man. So many people that were into this cool shit. I mean, it's like the thing that they always talk about that bums you out is just like, you're like, oh man, if Trump wasn't Trump, he might be my best friend. His favorite movie is fucking Bloodsport, and he has a cut of it with only the action on it on his plane that he watches. It's like
What
that's
the
so
fuck?
fucking sick.
That's fucking
It's just
hard.
like if it was any other dude, man, I'd be like, fuck, man, we gotta hang out and watch that cut together. I want to see the Trump cut, man. That's like the fucking maybe the best thing he's done is have that thing made. I want him to release that shit online.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere. Fucking, I'll find that shit. I'm gonna
Yeah.
find you the Trump cut and send it to you. Of the
Hey man,
fucking.
I'll tell you.
But yeah, shit, man. Well, we're running. I don't want to keep you too long. Fucking, thank you so
Uh,
much. Like
Thank
you,
you, man.
it's it's a total trip having you on the show. Shout out to Night Shift Merch. Everybody watching this show, you need to fucking do the Black Friday sale. If you haven't bought anything yet, and then I mean, how the fuck are you gonna turn that? Oh, that. How the fuck are you gonna turn that deal down? Come on, twenty
Yeah, and
percent
we got
off.
new Fulci shit going up that day. We got new Fulci stuff, new Suffocation stuff, new Revocation, new Black Dahlia Murder, new Darkest Hour. Uh, we got some other stuff that I can't even think about off the top of my head, but I know for sure those are like the big ones coming up on that day.
Fulci's crazy. It's funny too. Dome was telling me, he was like, more merch is coming. Just wait. Just be patient. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Is Tropical Sun vinyls coming back in stock at any point?
I hope so. So the label sent us a shipment of them. They got lost in transit. It's been stuck in customs for like probably close to 2 months now. So I think just what's today, Tuesday. So I think just yesterday they sent us a new shipment of everything they could refill from that. So we're waiting
Okay.
for it to show up now.
Okay, cool. And then, sorry, I have one final question, and
Yeah.
it probably was answered on the thing, but do you know when the depressive, homicidal, death metal band
Fuck.
Weeping,
When
fucking
that vinyl's coming,
vinyls are coming?
dude. So that shit was supposed to be in September. In September, the pressing plant hit us up and told us that they were waiting on the test presses still. They got them in, and then there was air bubbles in the test press,
Ugh,
and so it had basically had to go to scratch. So that means that they had to go get like new lathe cut, new stampers, like new fucking everything made for it, and they're rushing it. But just with how backed up vinyl is, like even them rushing it, they it's like everything else. We're like, how long is it going to be? And they're like, it should only be like a couple weeks. And now it's fucking 6 weeks, 8 weeks later, and we're still waiting on it.
yeah, but it's still coming, everybody.
Yeah,
Fucking
it's still coming. It's just slow as shit.
yeah, that was one of the sickest things I've ever seen. I was like, it's seriously like as far as vinyl goes, I was like, I don't like, I hadn't even heard it yet, and I was like, I fucking need that
Nice.
vinyl when I saw it because it just looks so dope. So
Yeah, once they come in, we got to get them like screen printed fast as fuck with how late everything else has been. That'll at least be like quicker. We can get that done in a few days.
right on, man. Well, the man has a lot on his plate and he has to get back to work. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode of Death Matches
Cool.
and Death Metal featuring Kareem Peter. Follow Night Shift merch and buy that.